All right. Might as well get a bag. Yo, what's up, dude? I honestly just want to see if this microphone's working. I don't know if it is or not, but tell me if you can hear that tapping. What's up, Tony? Yeah, pretty pumped for Drift Masters 2. I mean, bit of a flight coming up, but should be a good time. So just kind of getting packed for that, getting everything ready to go, and yeah, I mean, slightly boring night because my house has a bunch of renos that are going to be starting tomorrow. So most of my house is completely torn apart at this point. Literally everything over there is like bagged up and stuff. I can show you if you want. I mean, it's not that exciting, but yeah, super fun. So long story short, my house flooded like when we first moved in, and it's taken this long for them to get to it. So bit of a pain in the ass, but here we are. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I said I am just getting things packed. I'll probably be ripping around, but to BD gang, watching it work instead of doing my job. How's it going? Ayo, dude, where do you work? I'm kind of doing the same thing, although my like day with clients and stuff is pretty much done, so it's not that big of a deal. What else do I gotta do? I gotta get a bunch of shit charged too. I'm probably gonna be ripping around the house a bit. I'll probably bring the camera with me, but how long is the flight coming up? I can look it up, but I'm pretty sure I have an hour to Atlanta, and then I've got a 2-hour layover, and then I think it's 8 hours into Dublin. So it's a bit of a hike. It's not that bad. I've definitely had worse, but I mean, it's long enough. It's definitely long enough. What's up, TSH Auto? What's going on? Yeah, if you guys have questions, anything you guys want to know, let me know. Happy to answer it here. I mean, sometimes it's a little bit easier just because, I don't know, I can answer it a little bit more fluidly as opposed to trying to answer it online and stuff like that. So, not going to name the exact place, but it's like Steak and Shake, but without the food poisoning. Oh, all right. I don't know if I've been to a Steak and Shake, to be perfectly honest with you. I feel like I have, but I really don't know if I have. How's the transition from Farm of the Drift to Drift Masters? What's your favorite difference between the two? Transition wasn't that bad. There's like the obvious, what's up, clean installs. G35 is great, although I might need a clutch. Transition wasn't actually that bad because it's kind of the same job. The difference obviously comes with the fact that like I don't know those drivers nearly as well as I know FD drivers. And that's just because I grew up on FD, so it's pretty easy for me to be able to like keep track on that stuff. Whereas with Driftmaster stuff, it's a little bit more difficult because I didn't follow the series that closely. I still watched it, but I definitely didn't watch it nearly as much. Let me see if I can pull up the live chats on the computer. Make this a little bit easier. So you guys on my phone at least, so that should be easier. Where the heck am I going to pull this up? AMA. Okay, that is going. Analytics. What's up, Andy? Oh, it's Andy. Okay. Went there in 2013 when I wasn't into drifting and missed all the fun. Only knew it was really, yeah, I know that's the worst. Is like when you go somewhere and then realize afterwards what you missed out on. Where the hell can I pull up the chat? I'm new to this. I guess I could just pull it up on a separate browser if I needed to. Because I only have it on my phone and the chat disappears like almost instantly. So it's kind of a pain. Vision, honestly, Jesus, man. Honestly, I love what you bring to the commentary with your analysis. Honestly, you and Ian make a really good team. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love working with Ian. He's super, super easy. Who do you think you'll win the Formula Drift Championship in your year? Uh, I mean, it's kind of up to three. I mean, really, it's up to there's five drivers right now. I do think it's going to be one of those five. Statistically speaking, it'd be really tough for somebody else to come out of the woodwork and do it, but you never know. Um, Definitely could happen. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out where the hell I can go in and see all the comments without having to just go into um, without having to go somewhere else. So I'll get you questions in a second once I figure out where the hell I need to go. I'm gonna just swap to. I guess I'll just pull it up here. Oh, this is gonna be weird. I already don't like it. Sorry about the desk shaking. Just the way I've got this set up. So that's gonna get paused. What do you think you win for the judge? All right. That moment in FD pod about wheel speed was pretty funny. I didn't know there could be so much stuff that's competitive advantage on that level. Yeah, wheel speed is key. It's massive. I always knew it was something that was big, but the more I get into the sport, the more I dig into it further, and the more access that I have, the more I realize just how massive wheel speed is. And for a lot of drivers and teams and stuff like that, it's everything. But it's just not something we really talk about a lot, which is kind of sad. Got a random question. I know you were a goalie. I feel like it's similar to a baseball catcher. Ever tried? Yeah, I did. I played baseball in high school. I played both catcher and first base because I was really flexible from playing goaltender. First base was pretty easy. It's a little bit different because, I mean, obviously back catcher, you're kind of like just catching it. It's a really, really difficult position. It's incredibly athletic, and I'm not all that athletic, so that makes it tough. Do you want something like Wally and FD after experiencing in Drift Masters? There is something already being worked on in FD that's like Wally, but different. I don't think Adam LZ gets it, if not. I think Adam LZ gets it, if not close. Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy one. FD will depend mostly on the cars and who will survive more. I agree with that in some ways, but everybody can rebuild their car in between rounds, and we still see even the biggest teams like, let's go with RTR. RTR still has issues. It's not like they're perfect. They have their own sets of mechanical issues that come up pretty regularly that they're combating. So it really just depends. Look at a good example like Papadakis, Ryan Turk, same team, had an issue with transmission, right? Big team, and still run into those issues. Any barbecue in Ireland? I haven't gone to look for any barbecue, in all honesty, yet, but I'm going to. It is on my list of things. Sorry. I don't know if you guys can still hear me. Let me know if you can hear me all the way over here. I've got this Bluetooth hooked up, and there's really no way for me to tell. I guess I could put on my own live and stuff like that. Thank you. TTV at our 49A1. Good at explaining. Thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know. I've always liked analogies, and I've obviously always liked talking. So those two things go pretty hand in hand. And I think analogies are, in my opinion, like the most efficient way to teach anybody anything. There's a movie called Road Trip, and there's a famous scene in it where, I don't want to spoil the movie, but long story short, a guy has to get back to an area to take, I think it was an ancient civ or something like that. He has to take an exam, and basically he's got like 12 hours to learn the entire semester. And the guy goes like, "Oh, I can teach you ancient civ. It's just all about like teaching it in a way that you understand." And the guy goes, "Okay." He's like, "I could teach a monkey that in the same amount of time." I'm butchering this whole scene, but essentially what he says is like, "You like wrestling?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Okay, so Vince McMahon is like Aristotle." And like that to me has always stuck with me, because it's like that is the key to teaching. If you don't have a way of relating it back to something you already know, it's incredibly difficult to learn anything. Very sad for Turk. Sure hope he'll be doing better for sure, especially with the NOFA helping him. Yeah, but I mean, the spotter can only do so much. That if the car is not working correctly, or obviously there's some sort of mechanical, then it doesn't matter how good your spotter is. Do you know any U.S. drivers who will be driving FIA? I don't actually. I don't know a ton about the FIA event, although I will admit I am trying to make my way in there. I don't think that would come as any surprise to anybody that I'm going to try and make it out to that event. I've chatted with a couple people there, but nothing definitive. I really want to charge this before I leave, although I probably won't watch a lot of it. Who's your favorite FD and DM GP driver? I'm not gonna say my favorites because I don't think I have favorites in full disclosure. There are drivers I know better than other drivers. So for me, and sorry if I walk away, I'll keep talking though because I gotta go grab a bag. For me in FD, the drivers I know the best, like on a personal level, it's going to be Simon Olsen and Jonathan Hurst. I've just spent a lot of time with them. So it's very easy for me to pick those two. In Drift Masters, I know James Dean pretty well. I've been getting to know the Shanahans quite well. Torna Kavia and I have hung out a fair bit. We've had a lot of good conversations. So I'm not going to say favorites, but they're definitely people that I just know a little bit better because I've spent time with them. And I mean, this is time like outside of in the paddock and things like that. What event on the Drift Masters calendar are you looking forward to the most? Poland. Easy, super easy. I'm probably going to cry. I'm probably going to cry like a little baby when Poland comes around because I'm going to be so overwhelmed with emotion when I get to, hopefully, if everything works out, stand in the middle of that stadium and 50,000 people or whatever fits in there, 55,000 people all around and just kind of bask in it. So what's super cool is that Drift Masters, I've been doing the podium, which is sick, and I get to do like the big like announcement, like first, second, third thing, and that's been sick. To do that in Poland, probably gonna cry like a baby, I'm not gonna lie. It's human to cry, it's okay. Thank you, I appreciate that. I'm not a big crier. I mean, I think a lot of dudes say that, but I'm legitimately not a big crier. So, but I probably will that day. I should bring my laptop bag. Yeah, I am gonna have to run. I'll show you guys something cool if you want. I'll take you on a little adventure because, something else is kind of neat. So I keep every bracket from every event I've ever done. I have them all. I've got them in a filing cabinet, and I usually sign them. I don't know why I didn't sign this one, but yeah, they're all in a filing cabinet over here because I don't know, I'm weird like that, and I think it would be neat one day to do something with all of it. So I keep a lot of weird stuff like that. Okay, let's go on an adventure. Taking you with me, and went to Poland last year. It's incredible. What are your thoughts on Olsen driving the S14.9 Ireland? I think it's going to be good. I really do. He is really good with the 2J, and the Super is tough, and the S14 is really good in with Odie, so I think that's going to work. I understand why people who think your baby cry. I don't know either. I don't know. I just don't get the urge to cry. Also, welcome to my home. Oh, you guys want to see the original hat? I don't know if I've talked about it in the show, but that's the original one right there. Yeah, I put it next to the door so my kids can be reminded who pays their bills. I'm just kidding. It's just where I went in the office. So yeah, this is all tarped off and my stove is not where it's supposed to be, but I have to go to my closet to go grab stuff, which means that's normally how I get into my bedroom and into my garage, but I can't do that. So now I have to walk outside and then walk back inside in order to do that. So that is how I have to get to my bathroom and my bedroom every single time. So I'm gonna grab two things. And hopefully I can do this. I have no idea where I'm gonna put you guys. I need to grab luggage. I need to grab my backpack. Why is that so heavy? That should not have anything in it, but it does. And here we are. All right, we'll put you up here for a second. Oh, hopefully this works out. I'm trying to figure out why this backpack is so heavy, because it shouldn't have much, if anything, in it, and somehow it weighs a ton, like it's full of crap, which it might be. I may have just left things in it. But I'll get back to the comments in a second. I'm just not in front of my computer, so I can't see them. Okay, backpack, luggage. I'll come back for clothes and cigars and stuff later. Welcome to my closet, by the way. So we have a nice walk-in closet. This is like, I wasn't kidding when I say I've got like all black stuff. Don't mind the one red sweater, but yeah, it's basically all black clothing. And then more black clothing down there. But, mind the bins. I swear we've moved in. It's literally just We had to get everything out of the living room and everything out of the kitchen. So we put it all in bins. It feels like we're moving again, though. All right. Yeah, I'll get back to the questions in a minute here. Welcome to the pool, by the way. Having a pool in Florida. Never had a pool in my life. Greatest thing ever, for obvious reasons. Okay. Yeah, so that's the procedure right now. And hopefully it's all done when I get back. But damn, we got 32 people in here. This is pretty sick. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Let's catch up on some questions. Go from there. I'm going to probably prop you up a little higher than normal. Oh, fuck, that's not going to work. I know what I can do. Hang on. Damn, we got a few questions already popping in. Hang on, you guys are going for a ride. Fun fact, my desk and my setup is all on a standing desk, as you can tell, which means I can stand at work, which I don't do all that often. Okay, what do we got here? I don't understand people crying. Nice. I nearly cried when I saw the wild cards for Ireland. I'll be traveling over from England, and it just made the event even better. Yeah, it's going to be sick. Good wild cards. Pretty pumped on all of them. It'd be interesting to see what Amanda Sorensen's going to do, just kind of like punching up a little bit above her normal weight. I think that's going to be really, really interesting. I do think she's going to do well. She's somebody who drives better when she drives with somebody who's really good. I think we've seen that a few times. Florida man, Dexter set up with the tarps. Yeah, I know. I can show you. There's no body in there. It's mold remediation. It's nothing exciting. How many cup of coffee in a day at Drift Masters? Not a ton. It's usually like, and this goes for like FD and Drift Masters. At the start of the broadcast, like literally as we're starting, if you listen closely, usually when like Jared's doing the run through, Ian's doing the run through, listen, and you'll hear a can crack. And that's kind of like my go-to. So I'll have one then, and like sometimes I'll have another one. Usually whatever broadcast we're starting, I'll start a can. And that's kind of how I go. I'll usually, when I'm traveling, I'll have like one decent sized coffee in the morning, and then maybe a coffee before production, and then an energy drink. So the Toque in the live too. Geez, honestly, okay. We can talk Toque all day if you really want. It 100% is a branding move at this point. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even that big of a fan of wearing it. It does make for a really good mic setup. This angle for these mics actually works really well. I found this angle for these mics doesn't. And I've tried even like I've got a chest mount in here. I don't know if you can see that, but like that is like an adhesive chest mount that's meant to go right here. They all sound like shit, but the down pointing actually I found sounds the best. Favorite track in FD and Drift Masters? I really like Utah. Drift Masters, I've only been to a couple, although I've been to Germany a few times now when I did Iron Drift King, and that was sick. So I'm going to say that for right now. Excited for Simon, same. Will we see more than 32 teams in FD? I don't think we'll see more than 32 teams. We'll see more than 32 drivers. We already have more than 32 drivers. Dimitri was driving good, same car. Yeah, he was, didn't qualify, but it's tough. It's definitely tough. We don't talk enough about like the jet lag and travel. How close are we to seeing an FD versus Drift Masters crossover event? I know it's been talked about in the past, but nothing came of it. IRC. I think we're as close as we've ever been, to be honest. I think we're in a good spot because it's clear that the two events are talking to each other. That's pretty obvious because events are not overlapping anymore. So I think that's a clear indication that both sides are at the table having a conversation. The logistics is where do you do it and how do you move all the cars? Once that's solved, everything else becomes easy. And who's going to pay for it? Because most FD teams are not going to have the money. Damn, I got a lot of stuff in here. That's why it was so heavy. Holy cow. Most FD teams and most Drift Masters teams do not have the money to be shipping a car overseas. So do you ship everything from America over? Or do you ship everything from Europe over to America? Do you find somewhere in the middle? What do you do? If you can find an answer and someone to pay for it, I'm sure that event would go through much quicker. Yeah, Florida's crazy, crazy hot. Yeah, same car for Amanda. Jacob is the only one who can make it happen. No, I'm not the only one that can make it happen. It's going to take somebody with a lot of financing to make it happen, to be perfectly honest. I would love to say it's going to be me. It's definitely not going to be me. I do not have a lot of financing. I do not have a lot of money. Don't be disillusioned to think that like that announcing brings in a lot of money. I would love for it to. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Even doing both series, I do not make enough to have a living. Could I live off of it? Yeah. Sorry. But you got to remember, I got 3 kids and I live in a foreign country. So it is not enough to live off of currently. Maybe one day it will. Look at all of the crap that was in this bag. I'll deal with my desk later. But yeah, don't think that I'm getting rich off of doing this. It's decent money, but you have to remember too, like it's 8 FD events and now 6 Rift Masters events. So 14 weekends a year. So even if I got paid a full week's worth of wages every time I did an event, which I do and don't, it's kind of complicated. That's only 14 weeks worth of work. So I have other stuff that I got to do. Guess what top 4 is going to look like in Ireland? Dwayne McKeever, James Dean, Connor Shanahan, Jack Shanahan. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Don't worry, Red Bull's got it. Maybe. I don't know. But you got to remember, FD's with Rockstar, and that's 2 competing brands. So that's tough. That's really, really tough to get them and ask them to do that. What else we got here? Not knocking Jared at all. I think he's a great announcer, but I think you pair really well with Ian and flow a little bit better. I think it's just 2 different shows, to be perfectly honest with you. I think Jared and Ian have things that are similar and they have things that are different. For me, I don't have a preference. I like working with them both. I have a ton of respect for both of them. I have a ton of respect for Jared because that's where, for me, where I, got a lot of my announcing knowledge from was listening to him. Ian is super, super great to work with. Won't lie, really do like working with him. But I don't think I don't have a preference between the two. It's like coworkers. It's like when you have coworkers that are your friends, and to have to pick between 2 friends that are coworkers is incredibly tough. I'm not going to. Do the first round Drift Masters next year. Do what at the first round? Oh, like the combination event? Maybe. I think it should be completely separate if they're going to do it. I don't think it should be. I don't think it should be tied in with the regular series. How many cars did Tony have in his shop waiting for that podcast? There was 4 in the back, and there was 2 in the garage. His dad's car, the Mustang, and then I can't remember all the cars that were in the back. And I know he's got more in storage. Super sick. Fun fact: we had a bit of a scare today. So Kyle was at FD, and then he sent me a message today because he's like back home, and was like, "Yo, not to freak you out, but half of the Tony episode's missing." And when we record, I record like on multiple audio devices just in case. And I was like, "Shit, I really don't want to have to use the scratch audio for this. I will if I have to, because Jay, our audio tech, is a fucking wizard, and he'll figure it out and he'll make it work. He's done miracles before." But what it turned out is, and I'm gonna nerd out for a second. This is gonna take a minute. What backpack? Is a Peter McKinnon Nomadic. All of my travel stuff is Nomadic. I'm not sponsored. I would love to be, but I'm not sponsored. I can give you guys a full tour of this bag too, if you want. We'll do that in a minute. But let me, for a minute, rant about some what the hell was I gonna say? Nerd stuff. Okay, so main editing PC here. I built this last year, and we're gonna go full computer. So like, I'm sorry if this is like, you don't want to get into this. Just brace yourselves here. Full PC here. This has a 4080 Super and a 5900 in it. It's carrying like, I think it's at 8 terabytes of SSDs, and then there's like 32 terabytes of hard drives in it. So basically, this is like my main working computer for everything that I do. But then that is backed up to a NAS that's like right over here. I can show you like my big thing of drives. My desk is an absolute mess. Hopefully, you guys, I don't know if you can see that. So there's the NAS back there, and then there's a bunch more drives that back up very specific things even off the NAS. You should always have like multiples of things. But then that NAS then has a complete duplicate NAS, and NAS stands for network attached storage. That then links to a NAS that Kyle has at his house. So that way, whenever we do anything, basically Kyle's got a copy and I've got a copy at pretty much all times. They sync almost in unison. So it's super cool. That's one of the reasons why it's heavy. Really should bring that with me more. Will this fit in here is the next question. Because that would be sick. No, that's not going to. This is also a nomadic bag. Nomadic tech bag. Peter McKinnon, carry on, all of it. Yeah, I'm a shill for them. They don't get paid. Yeah, so Kyle's got that NAS, which is sick because then basically everything, so like even this phone, if I record something, what happens is as soon as it gets into Wi-Fi or I'll hotspot it, it backs up to the NAS here and then immediately syncs over to Kyle's NAS. So once the files finish uploading here, it immediately starts uploading somewhere else. So super, super cool that I've got all those backups. But I've learned that over the years because I have lost data over the years, and it is one of the worst feelings in the entire world. So I don't want to do that again, so I won't, because I have multiple copies of everything that I do. So anyways, at some point, I want to take the time out and go to Poland DM event, and that stadium is something else. Yeah, I'm so pumped about that stadium, I'm not gonna lie. Is Adam LZ only driving in Poland? I have no idea. I don't get to see the wild cards. I get to see the wild cards usually a day or two before you guys do. So Poland has not been announced. I have no idea if he's there. I would have thought he would drive Ireland, to be perfectly honest, because his car is right there. His car is with Drift Games. So like that to me made the most sense. And then I got the list and I was like, huh, interesting. I didn't get a chance to ask him about it though. 16 FT drivers fly to Europe and do a round at Driftmaster GP cars, and 16 drivers fly to the USA. Yeah, maybe, but whose cars? Who's gonna lend those cars? And is it gonna align with sponsors? And is their team gonna go? And who's gonna pay for all that? So answer those ones. Trust me, I thought a lot about this. There's a very good chance if you've thought about it, I have thought about it, and I've had somebody dash my hopes and dreams. So I'm just giving you that. That's pretty epic. I'm a music producer and lost my PC of 13 years recently. That's certainly something I need to invest in. Okay, you don't have to do this. Get a program called Backblaze. Backblaze is nuts. Basically, it backs up in real time, and then if you need the data back, you pay for that data at that point. It's really, really cheap a month, like $9 a month, and then you pay for the data to come back. I've used it. It was good. I think I restored 2 terabytes, and it cost me like $100. So definitely worth it. Definitely need to figure out a backup system. 3-2-1 method. There should be 3 copies of all of your data that's important to you. Not all of it, but just what's important. So 3 copies on... Wait, how does this work? 3-2-1. 3 copies in 2 locations. I can't remember what the one is now. Shit. Anyways, make sure to have 3 versions of it. Make sure you have them at least in 2 separate locations, because what if this house catches on fire? Safe travels. I'm going to head out. All right. Thanks, Lightly Season. Appreciate it. Z36 is in Ireland. Yes. Honestly, that's amazing. Thank you. Adam is going to alt race in Poland this weekend. Oh, okay. That'd be why. I admittedly do not keep up with every driver. What I do is I'll do a scan of all the drivers' information before the event. So like, while everything else is going on, it's not like, you know, the whole time I'm keeping an eye on what they're doing. And like, I just do like a big scan of shit once we're just about into the event. I don't really keep up with a lot of it in between. Although sometimes I do. I do have a lot of different drivers things. What do we got here? TSA pre-Orlando to Toronto. Oh, I think that's when I brought the kids down. Damn, it's been a bit. How different is it going from living in Canada to the US? It's not that different. There's obviously some big things that are different, but you have to remember, I spent a lot of time in the US before I moved here. Like I was coming to FD events, I was doing a bunch of other events, I was doing client stuff and like meetings here, things along those lines. So for me, it wasn't like this big culture shock, right? I moved somewhere that I've never been. I spent like, I think even before I moved to the US, I spent almost 100 days in the States. So it's like, it's really not that bad. There's certain things, obviously, like, you know, we have to worry about healthcare and paying for insurance on that. That's a little weird. It's like a conversation I had to have with my wife the other day because like her rates went up and I'm like, oh, what the hell is that going to mean? Shit like that. That's about the only weird part. But other than that, it really feels like Canada, North America is so homogenized now that like it's really not all that different. Okay, I'm sorry for the camera shaking. With this desk, I've had to build everything off the desk because there's no room behind it, like whatsoever. Whereas the old office that I basically built, purpose built for a podcast studio, which was sick, and I missed the hell out of it every day. I had tons of room. I had like all the cabling came down from the ceiling. It was awesome. I can't wait to build another studio. As for Ozma, why is he not doing a wild card? Love you, bro. Keep it up. Thanks, man. Thanks, Johnny Moreau. I don't know. I haven't asked him. It's a lot of it comes down to sponsorship stuff and time stuff. Like, it's just such a massive time commitment. And for a lot of these drivers, if they're not making money, why are they doing it? Like, without sounding shitty, why do it if you're not getting paid? They're in the business of making money. We all are. So am I. Shocker that I'd like to make money. So if I'm not making money, like, it's honestly, it's like, so a good part of this is, this is a little weird to talk about, so bear with me. I get asked all the time, or I get told, you should go here. I'd like you to come here. I want you to do this. I get it. I love it. I love drifting. Obviously, I've given like my entire life to it. But I only have a certain amount of days that I'm not actively working. I have a full-time job. I run the podcast. I do Drift Masters. I do FD. I run my business. I have clients. I have a lot on the go. So I don't get a lot of free time to spend with my family. So when someone's like, can you come to this event? Sick. I would love to. At bare minimum, I need at least my expenses covered, because unless there's like a solid reason, it's very, very difficult for me to go, hey, I'm going to be away from my family again to go to drifting, and it's going to cost me money. It's not that I don't love drifting, but you have to see it from that perspective. Is like, I also need to make sure I don't burn myself out, because this year in particular, very, very difficult. There's a lot on the go. Like, I dropped the biggest client I've ever had, single client I've ever had, to do Drift Masters. And like, that was a big chunk of money that I had to essentially give up just to do Drift Masters. So that should give you an indication of like the level of commitment that I'm more or less at with this. What else we got? Are you excited to see Simon Olsen, James Dean's S14.9? Yeah, I'm stoked. Anything, right? Off topic, but how freaking sweet is Daigo Saito's Lucky Day A90? Listen, I got to see that. I know I said I'd see the drift. I usually see I know that I normally see the wild card stuff a couple of days before, but I did get to see that a little bit earlier, and I was so fucking pumped, and it's so difficult for me not to talk about it. And I thought about it, and I almost did during FD at one point, but yeah, it looks sick. I've asked Osbo that. He says his Europe Supra Mark V is too heavy. Interesting. Okay. What has happened with Ryan Lontaine? Ryan Lontaine is not really active in drifting anymore. He works for a supercar distributor, I believe, and super happy. We see him usually once, maybe twice a year. Dude's doing great. Every time I see him, he's super pumped. Every once in a while, he'll tune into FD. Maybe he tunes in more often, but he'll like shoot me a line and like I don't think he has this year, but he has in the past, like sent me a message and be like, hey, actually it's this thing, or oh, you missed this, or something like that. Or just like he'll show up at an event and, you know, it's all hugs, all love, and it's great to see him. Message retracted, Florian. All right, you get to try again though. The car looks amazing. Can't wait to see him in Ireland. Yeah, I know. I'm pumped. All right, what else do you guys got? I got time. I mean, I've really only got like 2 bags done. Can I shamelessly plug something? And like, full disclosure, I am working through a partnership with this company, but I want to show you guys something that is like legitimately made a difference in my life. And yes, I'm working with that company. So this is chill, whatever you want to say. This is the company. They're called Grinds. And what this is a coffee pouch. It is not nicotine. It is not tobacco. It is none of that. It is literally a little pouch that looks like one of those pouches, like this, that has caffeine in it. This one is flavored like cinnamon roll. And let me tell you why I like this so much. One, obviously I have a caffeine issue that I do need to work on. And I have been working on, and this has actually been helping. But with drinking a large amount of caffeine and me having the bladder of a child, I have to go to the bathroom all the time. Ridiculously, even during broadcast, like every commercial break, I'm running to the bathroom. This allows me to, one, get that caffeine intake that I want without having to worry about going to the bathroom. It's also great on planes, so you can have this and still get like some, in this case, cinnamon roll, but like a tasty treat, if you will, without all the additional shit. Anyways, if you guys want to try it, getgrinds.com, use code DRIFT10, you can save yourself 10%. I legitimately love these, and they've been gracious enough to send me a bunch of samples. So if you guys want to, Drift 10, getgrinds.com. Please try it out. It's incredible stuff. And just try it. If you don't like it, I mean, I'll buy it off you. I don't know. Do you drive yourself in drifting or other motorsports? You're the best drift commentator ever. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't think I'm the best ever. Yes, I do drive. You can check out the channel. Actually, I'm waiting on footage right now from my last drift day. The drone pilot he's super busy. Hasn't got me over the footage yet. But I posted photos of it. But I have a black G35 that's been absolutely incredible to drive. I'm super, super lucky. And I do love driving it. And I wish I could drive more. But I spend most of my time going to other people's drift events where I don't get to drive. So just how it goes. Got a bunch of business cards here that were in that bag. If you had to pick one wild card and one DEM driver, who would you pick? For what though? Oh, to win this weekend. I would love to see Dave Egan win. I think that would be such an incredible story for him to win in Ireland. I think the chances are pretty slim. Full disclosure, love Dave, great friend. I don't think he's quite at that level yet to be able to take down those drivers. For the wild card, love to see Daigo Saito take it. Amanda Sorensen would be sick. I mean, really any of the wild cards, like I said, I know Simon quite well, that'd be cool. Any of the wild cards. I don't know the last wild card they announced nearly as well. His name's escaping me. That's why I've been avoiding saying it. But once I do some digging on him, maybe that'd be cool too. Once I know a bit more of the story. Oh, what do we got? What do we got? It's fun to dream about what if. We get Saito Manoa and FD and Nakamura and DreamHack Golden Years. I agree. Nakamura is like, bro, listen. Watching Nakamura over the last couple years has been like, sorry, TikTok pulled up, was tough. Knowing what he's capable of, that was tough. But then seeing the way that he drove this year, holy shit. So cool this year. Sorry, I'm grabbing a drink. I'm talking a lot. This is fun. I should do these more often. This is actually a lot of fun. I really appreciate you guys coming out. I might do these like during travel or something. Oh, the Naki Sato drift match. Oh, right? Shit, how did I not think of that already? That's going to be, if that happens, that would be absolutely wild. Like Saito Nakamura in Ireland at Mondello. Holy shit. That's like dream level battle right there. I mean, them at like Suzuka or something like that, or Ebizu or something. I mean, that'd be even cooler. But doing it in Ireland, which is like kind of the new Japan, in my opinion, when it comes to drifting, that's fucking nuts. Harry Kerr, right. Thank you. Sorry, I feel bad. Is there a possibility that we see a Drift Masters podcast similar to the Outer Zone? It's a possibility. It's not something that they've approached me about. It's not something we've talked about. I would want to chat with FD about that ahead of time. Because to me, FD is what gave me my start. So a lot of the conversations around what I do outside of FD, I always run by them. And it's purely out of a respect thing. There's been very, very few occasions where they've ever come back with like anything where they're like, not sure about this. And I think one time they did and it made total sense why. Need to get you a corn shirt. I used to have a corn shirt. Fucking love corn. Like really, really, I had like a corn era. There's photos of me in a corn shirt somewhere. It was like black with like a gray corn logo on it. It'd be sick. Hey dude, just want to come say hi and think you're a solid announcer and commentator, and big congrats on joining the Drift Masters team. Thanks, man. Benjamin Beck. Appreciate that. Thanks for popping by. A lot of this too, just new video came out, so I figured this is kind of a cool way to talk about it. Does FD or Drift Masters... Okay. Can I correct all of you? It's no longer DMEC. It is just DM. It is just Drift Masters. It is not Drift Masters European Championship. Just putting that out there. I don't care. It's not a big deal. But it is like a branding thing. So, just DM. FD, DM. Very easy. It's all good though. Does FD or Drift Masters driver share knowledge with you? Driving tips, setup? Yeah, all the time. All the time. I will ask very pointed questions, and I'm not asking them like, what are you doing to your car? I would ask more like, how would you achieve this? Or what's something that is being done in the sport to do this? A great example is like asking Odie last year in New Jersey, how is your car look so flat coming over the middle section in New Jersey. And he walked me through one way, and then one of his crew team came over and told me a completely different way of doing the exact same thing. And both have similar results, but they have different kind of outputs. Like the car stays flat, but in one model the car is a lot more loose, and in the other model the car is a lot more stiff. So it just depends on like what you want out of the car. My girl is a gigantic Korn fan, has a Korn shirt on half the time. Oh, that's sick. Ask her what her favorite Korn song is, like deep cut Korn song. Like if it's like Ball Tongue or something like that, extra points. It doesn't have to be that song, but like I want like a deep cut Korn song. If you say Blind or Freak on a Leash or anything like that, I don't want to hear it. Even Adidas is like a bit too mainstream. Give me a deep cut. Hope Dave gets a podium this week. He deserves it. Yeah, I agree. The Dave story is incredible, and I think he's come so far already. Like it's already been nuts, and I think at this point, you know, he just wants to stay like within that era or area where he can he's like locked in. That's kind of I think his goal right now. So glad you joined FD. You and R-Rod work well together. I think you mean J-Rod. Thank you. It's easy to work with J-Rod because I grew up watching FD, so it's very like I already know a lot of his mannerisms and how he works and how he talks. And then it was just a lot of him after that teaching me things about how I needed to operate, and I've learned so much from that man. It's crazy. Asking her, Korn or Korn? Korn of the K. Korn of the K is the band. So, in case you were wondering, in case you were confused. All right. What else do we got? Ooh, I think you need that. So I have to pack. So here's the trick. And this is, hold tight on this because this shit's crazy. So tomorrow at 1, and I'm going to walk you through the whole thing. Tomorrow at 1, I leave for the airport. My flight's at 3:30, 35 minutes away. I fly to Atlanta. I have a 2.5-hour layover in Atlanta. I have to transfer the T gate. If you've been to Atlanta, you know what that means. And then I have an 8-hour flight into Dublin, which gets me there, I think, at 9 a.m. And then then I have to go get my car. And then at 11 a.m., I'm going to the Komodo Barber Shop, which if you follow the Drift Games guys, you know what that is. It's a barber shop they all go to. Then I drive to the track to kind of do my media debriefing, get my credentials, get my car labels and all that stuff. Then I've got 2 top secret things I can't talk about here that are happening. Then the next morning, I go back to the track, and then I've got a driver's meeting. Then I got to run back into Dublin, grab my wife, do Drift Masters, and then we are hanging out in Ireland for an entire week. Then I'm flying back to Canada to grab my kids. My wife's flying back to Florida to check on the renos. And then I'm going to spend about a week back in Canada seeing family, and then I go to St. Louis. So I do not come home until the 20th of July. Yeah, and it's for almost a month straight, I'm completely gone. And I have to record podcasts, produce podcasts in that time because I only have 2 in the can right now. So very, very, very close. If you had to pick one of the cars from the Drift Masters grid, what would it be? Timo Patola. I mean, Diesel Mercedes, come on now. Easy one. Right now, Here to Stay, Fake. Fake is good. Fake is good. Right now, Here to Stay, solid songs. Fake is like, that's the deep cut I'm looking for. Black Smoke Racing, yeah. Yeah, easy Black Smoke. And I love those guys. And like, I have a Black Smoke toque in my closet as well. They gave it to me in Germany like 2 years ago. What's your main job? I run a marketing agency. So I work, I work in automotive. I do marketing for automotive brands. For a long time, I was doing work for brands within drifting. So there's a very, very good chance, if you've been watching drifting over the last 3 or 4 years specifically, you've seen my work and my team's work. So kind of cool. So I've been behind the scenes for like a number of years. I just never really public. That's all. Like just one of those things. So yeah, I've been around. I know shit. What about the RTR? I like the RTRs. I think they're really cool, but like they're an absolute nightmare to drive from what it sounds like. I mean, I don't know that for, complete fact. Oh, I do have a cable for this. Oh, I'm so silly. I do have a cable for this. Okay, sorry. I was just thinking about something. Yeah, they're just an incredibly difficult car to drive. So, and I mean, diesel Mercedes, come on now. Such chill dudes. Yeah, Black Smoke guys are super, super cool. All right, cool. What else you guys got? What do you got? I'm going to have to start packing clothes soon. I don't know how that's going to work. I might have to... Where did I put my clothes? Oh, I have some in here. Okay, cool. Because I basically live out of the washer and dryer. Let's be honest here. Is that fixed? I need to go get that other cable, I think. Gotta figure that out. Favorite FD track that isn't Irwindale? Okay, hang on. So chill dudes, what's your daily? Daily is a 2003 Mazda Protege 5. It's white, it's lowered. It's going to be turbo soon because I have a turbo speed Protege that is just sitting right now that I need to pull the engine out of, rebuild, forge, and put the new one on with the GT28, the old disco potato, and that's going to be sick. Favorite FD track that isn't Irwindale? Old St. Louis or Texas. Just super fast. Good evening, Stian? You have to give me a breakdown on how to say your name correctly. Need more boost always. Heinemann wins Mondella Park. Who comes second? I don't think he's going to win Mondella Park. So, Fionn Roche. Smoked brisket or sweet flavored brisket? Smoked. Easy. Who's your dream podcast guest? Okay, are we talking drifting, FD, or in general? Like dead or alive? Give me some more rules here because I got a lot of them. So give me some more rules and I'll get back to you. Left you go back to regular qualifying, and what about running battles for third and fourth? I feel like those are two biggest things we're missing out on. I don't think you will ever see FD go back to the way you saw qualifying before. Is there the potential for a type of qualifying? Maybe. I don't know, though. I really don't know. I would also like a battle for third and fourth, especially with the points-based system that we have now. I think it is more warranted than ever, and I've made that quite clear. Fun fact, I can be a little bit annoying. I'm not saying that I am annoying, but like I'm very opinionated, obviously, and I have no problem telling people what I think about things and what I would like to see done and changed. And yeah, so if there's something I believe in, like running Utah backwards, very much want to do it. Although I did get a solid reason why we don't run Utah backwards, and that's simply because the guardrails don't go the right way. We'd have to swap them all around, but we did do that in Wall, New Jersey, so. You coming to Gattebil. I would love to come to Gattebil soon, but I don't know if it's going to happen. I did reach out to them. Didn't really get an answer back. Last year when I came, they covered my flight, but I covered my hotel and my rental car, and it was fun, but I don't have a lot of weekends free. And I need at a bare minimum to have my expenses covered. So I was supposed to stay with Simon Olsen in his bus, and I elected to get a hotel because it was full of very drunk Norwegians, and I was just not about that life at that point. So, yeah, I'm getting a bunch of them coming in now. Old St. Louis was sick. I'll never forget Chelsea. Yeah, I know. I've got video of that somewhere, too, if you want. Any changes to St. Louis this year? Hopefully the flat wall. I've been told the walls are changing and being better, and the layout is changing a little bit. That's all I know. Cool. Sorry, big question. How do you compare the qualifying to seeding from DM Drift Masters, to FD? Also, keep on watching from the UK. Love your voice and both Drift Series. Really appreciate that. What I like about qualifying is it very much gives drivers their own merit. It can also penalize them very heavily. You have one mistake and that can be it. You could be out of the show. Seeding, that's not nearly, like a big driver is not going to go out in seeding, more than likely. So it's a lot safer. The biggest thing I like about qualifying is that I'm given an opportunity as an announcer to speak very candidly about one driver in particular. You can get footage, you can get video, you can get a sound clip, all of one driver in particular. That is the part that I very, very much like about qualifying, that we lose with it. But what I like about seeding is that those drivers get a lot more experience driving tandem, and arguably they need that experience more than anything else. So for me, that is the biggest win I see in seeding, is that those lower tier drivers have to battle and get used to battling much faster, and they do get much better. I would argue that guys like Andy Haitley or even Connor O'Sullivan, those drivers who have to come up through it, end up being on heaters and do really, really well when they start making to other brackets. I think Connor Sullivan's a great example of that from this past weekend. So that's just me though. What else? Prefer drifting, but automotive in general. Dream interview. Automotive in general. Man. That's tough. That's honest. Like, I honestly haven't thought about it that deep. I know how shitty that sounds. I can tell you guess that like I'm kind of pushing for and like really waiting for. Tanner Faust is one of them. Just tough guy to like kind of get connected. I mean, obviously I can't, but like a Ken Block would have been incredible. Jay Leno, like a lot of the guys like I grew up on. Yeah, stuff like that would be absolutely nuts. Yeah, automotive in general, but like drifting, I think those would be good. I got a lot of them done. I got a lot of like the big people I wanted to interview kind of done. So, whoa, holy crap. Prefer drifting, automotive, podcast guest questions. Put how do you? Hang on. Oh, never mind. You're correcting that. Okay, cool. Electric or wood sauna? I'm gonna keep that going. I don't know. I don't know which one I was in. The ones I were in, I had wood in them, if that counts. Or do you have like a wood burning one? I don't know. Let me come back and let me split test them and I'll let you know. Keeping that third place battle if you can. I don't mind seating, but that third place battle needs to come back. I 100% agree. Need to figure out how to pull an engine and put a new one in my first ever project on the car. Step at a time, man. Take pictures and videos of everything. Take something out, label it, or if you can put the bolt back in the hole that it came from, just screw it back in. Best thing anybody's ever taught me. If it doesn't screw in, just tape it on. And that way, when you go to reassemble it, it's already in the correct hole. Best way to do it. But yeah, swapping engines is just like, it's just taking stuff out, and pulling the engine out. It's really, really simple. Just go slow, write things down, take pictures. Being at Utah last year was sick because some drivers just ran it backwards after the runs anyways. I know, it was great. Iron Drift King can't wait. Iron Drift King can't wait for the wild cards. Yeah, because that's like the voting system they've got in now. I haven't had a chance to go ahead and look and see who's in the lead on that. Is your current job your dream job? I love marketing. I love running a business. I really, really do. It's one of my favorite things to do in general is running a business. Is it my dream job? No, I'm really, really pushing for more announcing stuff. I made it pretty clear, like I would love to, not by any means leave drifting, but I would love to like try for like F1 or the NHL. Hockey's my other love, so I would say one of those would be nuts. What is best at being announcer? I'm not sure what you mean, like what is the best thing? Best thing is like, I get to hang out with people I idolized and like talk to them, and you realize very much that they're all just people, and that's been really humbling. That like almost everybody in drifting has been very, very nice and supportive, and that's been incredible. Yeah, good point. Actually, I've noticed this year's field has leveled up a lot of our previous. Thank you for answering my question. Not a problem, guys. Tanner Fez pod would be sick. Dude's mad busy though, 100%. Super cool seeing Joey Logano. And New Jersey. That was nuts. I actually had a really good conversation with his manager about some stuff. So not that I can talk about, but that was really, really fucking cool. I was supposed to have him on the practice show, but with all the delays and stuff, it didn't work out. How sick would that have been? My dad would have been super proud. Big NASCAR guy. Why does Formula Drift not change their tracks around like Drift Masters? Is rules more strict than the USA money thing? No, it's contracts. FD will lock in a multi-year contract. That's one of the biggest things is that they can get better deals and work out a lot of stuff by locking in a track for 2 or 3 years. That's it. There's a lot that goes into picking a track. I'm going to sidebar here for a second and talk about that because I think it's important. Picking tracks is, you got to remember, you need someone that's close to a large metropolitan area so it can feed people and have people come in. It's got to have an airport that's at least within 45 minutes, maybe an hour max, like a big airport. Because we got to fly everybody in, not just staff, but like crews and things like that. It has to have the caliber of the track to be able to, meet FD. It's got to have a layout that matches what would work well for FD. It's got to have viewing area for that. It has to have power and internet infrastructure for all of that. And it's got to be able to house and feed and do all of that. And it needs to be at a price point that makes sense. So all of that has to be correct in order for FD to pick a track, or any, like even Drift Masters to pick a track. So just tough. Hey Jacob, hope you're doing well. Thank you, appreciate that. Hope FD uses the NASCAR bank in St. Louis next month. That won't happen. Sorry, I don't think it's gonna happen. Seeding keeps some good drivers like Jack Shanahan away from a great result because they're always against heavy hitters in the top 32. Maybe you could argue that in qualifying as well. It also gives Jack more lap time than he's ever had. What if he did half decent in qualifying and then went up against Forsberg in the first battle? What if? What's different? Favorite band right now? Been listening to, what have I been listening to a lot of? I can tell you the bands I've been listening to a lot of. Bring Me the Horizon, that's just been for like the last 2 years. Beartooth I got back into. Rise Against I've been listening to a lot. It's a lot of heavy stuff. Lorna Shore, big thing. They've got a new song that's coming out tomorrow. I couldn't even get Will to like show me demos of shit, but yeah. Honestly, Jack needs to figure out his new chassis. Anyway, he's a top driver, so once he has that figured out, it doesn't really matter who he's against the top 32. I agree. I think we did see some of that in New Jersey. He drove really well. I was in the media center and looked to my left and saw James Dean and Joey Logano just about and had a heart attack. Yeah, I know, right? Crazy, but it's just super cool how everything's developed. Circle of Drift tagged me in a reel. What did they tag me in? Oh my gosh.
I would like the driver as a technical announcer. Not taking anything away from Jacob, but I'd love to have Chris Forsberg.
Oh man, talk about starting some controversy. Actually, Jared gave me a heads up that quote was coming, and I agree. Be sick to have Chris Forsberg in the booth with us. Do you think Alex Bowman will ever do comps? Maybe not FD, but like clutch kickers type. I don't think I know who Alex Bowman is. Was that the football player that was up there as well? I believe. I might. I don't know. Why not? Hello, Jacob. Great job in Drift Masters. You and Ian are very fun to listen to. I'm one of the many Heinlein fans from Finland. What's up? Sorry I didn't party with you guys. I was so exhausted, and I'm not going to lie. You guys partied so hard. I was kind of intimidated, and I just didn't think I could hang. Is Atlanta the track behind you upside down? They're all kind of upside down. I had a company like cut all these out. Fun fact, I was trying to get the new FD layout put back there as well. But yeah, you are right. It is. No, it's correct this way. Because you come down, you turn, you go up and through the keyhole. So it might just be flipped because of because look, the letters on my hat are flipped, right? That's all. It's just flipped that way. Sorry. Slaughter Prevail and now Uprising. Yeah, crazy band. Slaughter Prevail, so good. So good. Would you rather have dingers for fingers or fingers for dinger? Clean installs. Dingers for fingers. Yeah. Thought a lot about it. That's the one. NASCAR Cup driver. Oh, okay. I'm not sure who he is then. Who is someone who you have known from media and he turned out to be a totally different kind of guy? Do you mean like somebody like that was famous and they turned out to be somebody completely different behind the scenes? Is that what you mean? Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go to the next question. Okay, races for Hendricks. D-Rocks, are Formula Drift and Drift Masters planning their races together since so many people... I wouldn't say they're planning together, but they're having a conversation about it. Oh, I see. Mirrored, camera reversed. Yeah, behind the scenes. I don't know. Everybody's pretty straight up. If anything, it's just like you're going to see a more polished version of them on like the live stream and stuff like that because they kind of have to be. Like there are a lot of drivers that are just like a little more vulgar, like we all are, like I am. Like if anybody knows me personally, I know Andy's in here. I'm not vulgar, but like I swear, I say dumb shit in person. I'm not going to say that on air. I just can't. Like that's just the job. Sorry, I gotta go set something up with my luggage. Yeah, that's just the job. But like everybody's just people, so that's what's gonna happen. Oh, I forgot how much I love this bag. Sorry, I don't get to use my full-size luggage often, so when I do, I get pretty pumped. I'll show you what this looks like. Hopefully this works seamlessly. Mind the mess. So that is this bag right here, and mind the dog's barking. That's my Nomadic Peter McKinnon bag. This is the Nomadic like full-size luggage. It's just so nice. Like just everything from like the little pockets to like even just a really nice tag. Everything is zippered. It's really nice fabric. It's just a really, really nice bag. And the closure system is incredible because like basically these come over and they clip really easily and then you just tighten everything down. But I got to get that shit packed. So I don't know how best to show you guys where I'm at. Most important thing to take for a business trip, just one thing. If it's international, a universal charger. I think that's probably the biggest thing because then you've got your phone and it's good to go. That would be it. The one I use is from Anchor. Look here, let me show you. Anchor universal charger. Like this does every major plug. Traditional universal charger. Look at the size difference in these. It's wild to me. And this has the same amount of ports. And these are actually faster ports. And look, it's just so smart. Like there's your like E-type, I think it's what it's called. And then you've got your UK style ones, and it just slides in and out, which is great. And then you've got your US ones, and then you've got your pivoted US ones, which I think is actually China. Either way, absolutely wild. And then it takes either European style or just the normal American style. So just a very, very smart charger, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, the only thing it doesn't do, I'm just realizing now, and that's a problem, is it doesn't take the third prong. So I guess this one's coming with me still. Shit, I just realized that. Thank you, chat, for that. Question for you, Jacob. I don't want to jump to conclusions or scare anyone, but hypothetically, if something happens in Iran versus US-wise, what would happen to FD? No idea. Zero idea. Haven't had that conversation. I mean, if we all get drafted, or you guys get drafted, because I'm technically Canadian, will be running back there, that might be a different story, but I don't know. I really don't know. Type S charger does it better. It might, but I don't have one, so maybe Clean Installs could help me out with that. Do you have any insight into the track changes in St. Louis for the road course in 2018 to the layout that's been used since? Almost impossible to get fans out where it was. Like grandstand costs, all that stuff, just it logistically was very, very difficult to do that. Best ice cream places, not sure. I don't actually eat that much ice cream, although you may not be able to tell that I don't. Tillamook, my wife's a big Tillamook fan, so let's say that. Which chassis do you think would be the next one to do well in pro or grassroots? S550 Mustang. I think there's a lot of parts for it. There's good development in it. They're going to come down in price pretty quick. S197 has a bunch of issues, so I don't think that's going to be it. It's probably it, or like a BMW E92, something like that. I think Clean Installs could help you out with that for sure. I know a guy. All right, well, listen, we already talked about it. I mean, I'm down. So what's up, dude? So original Legna Music, that's actually the dude who's made the intro song for the podcast for the last 2 years since the start. I can't remember. But yeah, I like to support anybody in the community as much as I can in any way that I can. Is this your first trip to Ireland? No, it is not. Do you have places you'd like to see when you're there? No, I was in Ireland very briefly for LZ World Tour. I want to go see some castles. That's for fucking sure. I want to see a couple of bars. Outside of that, I've got no real plans, to be perfectly honest. What else we got? Who will improve their performance the most for the rest of Driftmaster's season? Connor Falvey comes to top of mind. I really, really think I have some stats pulled I could probably look up, but that's the one that comes to mind is like somebody who just kind of had a couple of bad breaks that could easily win. Dwayne McKeever is another one. I know I sound like I'm just talking about Russian guys. Mika Keska-Korpi is another one that I've been kind of singing the praises of. After seeing the Tesla drift car by Drift HQ, do you think you'll ever see electric powered drift cars in FD? Thoughts on EVs in FD? There already has been one. Napoleon Performance, Travis Reeder. So I don't think it's gonna be long. I think what they're doing over there at Drift HQ, too many drifts. Yeah, I don't think it'll be long. And as long as those come down in price and the batteries hold up, or we find a really easy way to replace those batteries, hard parts is going to be charging at the track because you're just on throttle all the time. So you're gonna have to have generators, or some tracks do have Tesla chargers, so that'll make it easy. Less excitement with the lack of noise. Yeah, honestly, I think what they need to do is make the electric motors louder. That's it. Just make them louder and give them like a different sound. Put a fucking bicycle card in the spokes of or something. I don't know. Hi, thanks, man. Yeah. Yo, Andy Luck, Jared, and Ian gets 3 months to develop skills and do a drift comp. Who'd win? Ian. Easy. Ian's already competed in like British Pro 2. I don't know if he ever went to Pro. That's an easy one though. Yeah. Because he's already a driver. That's what Wand Wizard comes from, is from the handbrake. It's not from welding. Learned that the other week. Will you be coming to the UK for the next LZ World Tour stop? I believe so, but I haven't booked any flights, so I'm not entirely sure. Any tracks you wish FD or Drift Masters would go to or go back to? Love for FD to come to Canada. I mean, I think that'd be sick. I think there's a couple of cool spots you could go to. I don't know if it'll happen, but I think that would be awesome. Drift Masters, I don't know enough European tracks to really know. I mean, Monaco would be fucking wild, but I don't think that's going to happen. What's the biggest difference between FD and Drift Masters? Rules, vibes, anything? Yeah, I have 3 bosses at Drift Masters, and I have 1 boss at FD. That's the big one. I have Ryan Sage, that's my main boss. Whereas at Drift Masters, I have someone from Drift Games, someone from Drift Masters, and someone from Red Bull. I'm going to do a whole comparison video on the channel. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. Hit the subscribe button because I'm going to be doing one big comparison video at the end of the year. Just wanted to say thank you for the BTS content from Drift events. Love seeing various towns and locations. Thanks. I enjoy making them. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm still trying to like hone in what this whole thing looks like. But we'll get there. Kiki Karskuru just had a nice live stream barbecue session with Heineken in France. So that's cool. I'll have to go look at that. Canada after E-Town would be dope. I agree. Comparison video would be amazing. It's going to happen. Biggs D, welcome to Small Coffee. Dude, thank you. Listen, I had, I'll get to Caitlin's question here in a second. Don't go anywhere, Caitlin. I had an exit. Okay. I haven't talked about this at all, so hold tight. I literally have not talked about this publicly. I've talked about it to friends and stuff like that. I mentioned it a little bit earlier on. I'm trying to think. I am no longer with the biggest client, single biggest client I've ever had. I'm not going to say who. Is the entire reason, not the entire reason. Let me go back a little bit. One of the reasons I moved to Florida was for this client, so I could be as effective as I possibly could for the teams. We realized, both them and I, that me doing both things is going to be incredibly difficult. And we decided to not renew the contract full time. I'm still doing some piecework for them for a couple of things, but that was a gigantic financial loss. Like, I mean, that one contract alone is more than almost most people's salaries. It was a massive, massive job. And I dropped that to do announcing as full-time as I possibly can. So why I'm bringing this up is that I don't think, let me add one more thing in here. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to do this, like politically, to be perfectly honest. When I sold my house in Canada, I made a decent amount of money. Not like a life-changing amount of money. You know what, I'll tell you. I made $200,000, which is a great amount of money. Now, I had debt with that, about $40,000 worth of debt. You know, full transparency. I've got no problems talking about this stuff. So let's say it leaves me around $60,000. My rent at this house is around $3,000 a month. I paid for the rent for the year up front, and they gave me a deal. So it was 30,000 US, which works out to be like 50,000 Canadian. That then left me about $100,000 left over to put into some investment, finally put something into retirement, clean up a few things, get some nice things for the kids, you know, move down to Florida, pay for our legal fees and our visas and all that stuff. So all of that to say, I have a few months where this house is still paid for, where I don't have to pay for it. Like, I've already paid for it ahead of time. And then I got to start paying rent again, which is about $3,000 a month. And I lost the biggest client I've ever had because I decided to do marketing full time. So the YouTube push, the extra podcast, all that stuff is like a very deliberate effort to try and do as much as I possibly can with all of the free time that I have. Now, I did pick up other clients. It's not like I was like completely high and dry. Picked up 2 more clients that fill a good chunk of that void, but not the full amount. And I realized I still have more time in the day, so I wanted to do more content and start to monetize that content and see what I could do with it. Because I come from marketing, because I've marketed a range of people in this industry and other industries, and people who have done stuff on TV and driving and YouTube and things like that. I was like, I know in principle how to do this. I've just never done it for myself. So that's what this whole big push is me proving to myself that I know the things that I know that are done with other people. So Big D's or Bigs D, signing up for the small coffee. That is the membership tier for this channel. You don't need to do it, but basically the cost of that is one small coffee a month. It's like $1.49 is the lowest amount of money that YouTube will allow me to set up a membership for. There's not a lot that I can offer. What I can offer is stuff like, within the chat, I can answer your questions like pretty much right away. I have extra content that's going out there. Members get to see content first. It's kind of just like the basic stuff. I would like to do more, but I need to proof of concept this by having people sign up. So if you have it and it's not going to affect your life, I would greatly appreciate it. But if not, totally fine. Please just watch the videos and share. So yeah. So that's kind of why I even opened that up, because I want to prove to myself that I know what it is that I'm doing. So favorite energy drink or go-to coffee order? Okay. Go-to coffee order, like very specifically, like a high altitude Rwandan naturally processed coffee. If you can find that, that's my go-to coffee order. Energy drink wise, Buku, if you can find it. Any barbecue stream is at Heinen's YouTube channel. I'll take a look at that. Any thoughts about Adam LZ big block engine? I think it's sick. I think it's fucking nuts, and I can't wait to hear it in person. Ooh, if you're good at what you do, you'll be fine. I really appreciate that. Thanks for answering all my questions, Jacob. Sorry for the messy English. Have a good evening last night. Florian Montuzet. Yeah, dude, no, appreciate the questions. Appreciate everyone hanging out. We got 70 people. That's wild. That is wild. There's 70 people hanging out. We've been here for like an hour. What do you do, if anything, about the extreme heat at some FD events? Been to English Town 3 years in a row and it keeps getting hotter. Also stoked to meet you. Oh yeah, dude, stoked to meet you too. What do I do? I stay inside, but I have that ability to. So I got Jonathan Hurst calling me right now. Should I just answer it? Yo, hey, just a heads up before you say anything stupid, you're on a live stream right now. What's up?
Quick question. Can you send me a recap? One of the old recap videos you sent me, or of like each event?
Yeah, I think so. Like of yours?
Yeah, from like 3 years ago.
Sure.
Not the video, but just like the emails.
Oh yeah. I can figure that out.
What kind of live stream are we on?
I'm doing a live on YouTube right now, so there's a bunch of people watching. It's like 66.
What are you just talking about?
Just drifting shit. I'm packing my bags for FD and Drift Masters, so yeah.
Do they think you're cool?
I don't know. I don't think they think I'm cool. So a bunch of them are like pretty stoked that you're on right now, though. So they can hear you.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. All right. You want to say anything?
I think it's a really cool guy.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I talked about you earlier, so it worked out pretty well. But yeah, I will take a look. I will take a look for one of those emails and forward it to you.
Thank you. I tried to find it and I can't for some reason. So.
Yeah. No worries. I think I know where it is. All right, dude.
Well, cool. Enjoy all your fans, and I'm one of them. So.
I appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. All right. Love you. Talk to you soon. Bye. This is what I mean. I know Jonathan Hurst quite well. The email he's referring to is before I ever worked for FD. I did work for Jonathan Hurst, so that's why I know him so well. And part of that was doing some marketing for him as a driver. So I have to send that to him. But what do you do, if anything, about the heat? Yeah, I stay inside, to be perfectly honest. That's what I do. For fans and stuff, I'd want a driver to like set up a cool zone. I think that'd be sick. Mr. Cool, maybe. Talk to him. Thought a lot about visiting Southeast Asia and Thailand. If you got an event and they need an announcer, let me know. Send me a message. I will happily work it out with them. If you made your dream drift competition / event, what would you do? That is good. Top 32 of the world's best drivers on like an island in like the middle of the ocean, like Easter Island or something like that would be fucking crazy. I would want it to be single run qualifying and then seeding for the bottom 16 drivers for their placement. So that's your first set of battles. I think that would be sick. There's also be like fireworks and fire and like crazy halftime shows. What's your favorite car on the Drift Masters grid? Timo Patola. I think I talked about that already. Definitely up there. Yeah, Jonathan Hurst. Is he doing Tuner Fest? I don't know. He's already gone. I'm sorry. I have farther than Hyden and Sim Street. That's pretty sick. Is there any reason why they don't use example Velino tires? Velino's got to sign up as a sponsor, and it's got to be a 200 treadwear. I fired the most recent Netflix series you watched. I don't know. My wife's really into Deadliest Catch right now. She's been like binging that, so that means I've been binging watching that. So it's cool that you do YouTube stuff for us. Hey, happy to. Mr. Cool is Hearst's most fitting sponsors. Agreed. 100% agree. Did you stay for the Pro Bro Down? I didn't see you. I didn't this year. I had to get home to like pack all this and like do all the demo shit in my house. I can show you guys that again if you want, but talked about it a little bit earlier. Rum CP will be in Southeast Asia. Yeah, I know. I talked to him about it. He's actually, his podcast coming up soon. It'll be out next week. I don't know how you moved to Florida, man. I moved to Edmonton, from Edmonton to BC, and the heat out here is nuts. Yeah, I don't know. Ducky Slides. That's a sick name. I don't know. I just do it. I don't think about this shit, to be perfectly honest with you. I just do shit. I think the more you think about stuff and you overthink about it, it's paralysis analysis, and that's not something that I'm about. I'm very much if it makes sense and I can't talk myself out of it, then that's probably the thing I'm going to do. So, I gotta go like do clothes and stuff. Listen, you guys want to hang out more? Let me know. Are you guys done? Because I gotta pack clothes next. That is not gonna be exciting at all. But I also need to sit down because I've been standing this whole time. My knees. I got really bad knees from goaltending. Yes, you could, in theory, do a drift contest on the moon with electric cars. Favorite event so far this year? It's tough. They all have like really interesting things. I always love Long Beach. Atlanta's always sick. Florida was cool because it was like a home track. New Jersey, the fans were nuts. Finland, the fans were insane. Spain, because it was my first Drift Masters. Really, really tough. Glad to see Rome doing better with the chassis. Suckstein getting back to back. Yeah, it happens. How do you deal with all the jet lag with all the flying and stuff? Later, thanks. For me, the last one. Which tattoo you got while you were in Finland? I'm going to sleep. It's 2:30 a.m. Damn, a lot of you guys are from Europe. Okay, I'll probably wrap this up here pretty soon then. So throw in a couple extra questions and then we'll wrap her up. How do I deal with the jet lag? The day that I fly, I get up stupid early. Get up at like 4 a.m. I was actually up at 3 a.m. this morning. So that's what I do. And then that way, when I get on the plane, I'm fucking exhausted. I pass out. I get 6-7 hours of sleep, and I'm already in the time zone I need to be in. That's how I do it. When I do it the other way, I sleep in as long as I can before I come back to the U.S., and then I just stay up. It's just match the time zone you're going into as early as you possibly can. If you can do it 2 days ahead, golden, then you don't have any jet lag. It's kind of like the day you land is like maybe the jet lag. But that's usually what I end up doing. So I'll probably go to bed in the next hour or two, to be honest, and then I'll get up early, like 5 in the morning. I'll finish packing more than likely and go from there. What is the tattoo you got while you're in Finland? I didn't actually get it in Finland. I tried. I couldn't make anything work. I got it in Sweden, and I got a character from animes from Solo Leveling. So that's the series that I recently watched. Can you send me an FD fan guide? I collect them at every in-person round. I didn't get one in E-Town. I think they're all the same. If they're not, shoot me a message on Instagram. I'll see what I can do. Thoughts on smokeless events? What track? Is what it is. I mean, if that's the way that drifting's got to survive, I don't think it's as good as with smoke, but if that's the way drifting's got to survive, then I'm down for it. I'm from New Zealand. It's lunchtime for me. What's up, Limiter? Yeah, you fucking Kiwis, man. I got to go back. I'm already working on it. There's something in the works, so I should be. Shame the finish round was bad time of year and tickets are so expensive. I got no chance to go. I'm sorry, dude. Happens. I wish I could change that for you. Do you have any expectations for Drift Masters Poland? Yeah, I think it's going to be fucking wild. I think it's going to be nuts. And that's what I'm expecting. What's up, Rob? Do you still have the video you made for my gym? I do have that video. I don't delete any videos. Could send that to you. I do have that. Heading out. See you in St. Louis, brother. Dude, stoked. All right. I think that's what I'm going to do. We're an hour and 20 minutes in. This was sick. There are significantly more people than I ever thought. I'm going to end on a couple of shameless plugs if you're still sticking around. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It means a ton. It helps support what I'm doing. If you feel like you can spare $1.49 a month, we have the membership stuff set up now. Really, really low cost way, extra content, videos sooner, stuff like that. Questions answered on live streams. I'm going to try and do these more often. If there's more perks, let me know. Happy to do that. And last but not least, Grinds. Check out getgrinds.com. Use Drift10. They just came out with a caffeine-free pineapple one. I've yet to get mine. I think it'll be here tomorrow. But that's going to do it for me. I really, really appreciate it, everybody. This was absolutely epic. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. I can't believe this is even a thing that we got to do. I'm absolutely overjoyed that this worked out the way that it did. So now I got to figure out how to end this thing because I don't know how to do that, but we'll figure it out here. So thanks again. Catch everybody on the next one.